You're making videos for an audience you don't understand. And I know this because I did the exact same thing for 190 videos. But Google's digital marketing program gave me 4 questions that rewired how I think about my audience. And by the end of this video, you'll have them too. So look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I had some grand strategy about my channel. I didn't. I just pressed record and hoped someone would show up. Like, I was creating in a vacuum, talking to the void. And the void, honey, she was not responding. And honestly, I thought my problem was my content. Maybe my views just weren't good enough. Maybe I needed better lighting. Maybe I needed to talk louder, edit faster, post more. But then I'm sitting in this Google Digital Marketing Certificate program, right? And it started breaking down what audience research actually means. And I realized I didn't have a content problem, I had an audience problem. And the way that Google explained this to me, it made me realize that I've been creating for a person that I never even pictured. Like, I couldn't tell you one single thing about them, not one. And Google gave me 4 questions to fix that. But the first question, honey, that's the one that stung the most. And we're getting there. Alright, so question 1. What will be most valuable to your viewer? Not what do I want to talk about, not what's on my mind today. What will be most valuable to the person on the other side of the screen? Because here's what Google taught me. Your audience isn't there for your content. They're there for what your content does for them. And if you can't answer the question, what will the viewer get out of this? In one sentence, you're not ready to press record. I used to sit down and think, what do I want to say today? And that was the wrong question completely. The right question is, what does the person watching need to hear right now? Those are 2 different questions. One is about you, and the other is about them. And honey, the algorithm does not care about you. It cares about them. What's valuable is just step 1. Because if you know what they need, you still have to be able to deliver it in a way that actually lands. And that's where question 2 comes in. This is the one that changed how I script every video. So let's get into it. Question 2. What can you teach them? And this is where I had to get real honest with myself, because for a long time, I thought teaching meant being an expert. Like, I had to know everything before I could share anything. And Google's certificate flipped that completely. Teaching isn't about expertise. It's about perspective. It's about sharing what you're learning while you're learning it. Because here's the thing. The person watching the video isn't looking for a professor. They're looking for someone who's one step ahead of them and on the same path. Honey girl, that's what makes your content unique. Not your credentials, but your perspective. So I started to ask myself before every video, what did I learn this week that I can pass on? Not what am I an expert in, not what's my authority in this topic, just what did I learn that someone else may not know? And that shift is changing everything for me. Because now, suddenly every video has a teachable moment. Even the ones where I am clearly struggling. But teaching alone won't get people watching. You can deliver value and still lose them if your question is missing question number 3. And question number 3 is the emotional one. It's not about the information at all. It's about something deeper. We're almost there. Trust me, girls. Sit tight. Question 3. How do you inspire them? Honey, when I first read this question during the program, I completely almost skipped it. Because inspire feels like such a big word, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker here. I'm just trying to make a video that helps someone. But Google Divine Inspiration as something completely different. They said inspiration isn't about the hype. It's actually about the possibility. It's about showing someone that a different outcome is achievable and that it hits different. Because when you combine value with teaching, you give someone information. But when you add inspiration, you give them permission to try, permission to believe that they can change something. So, I started weaving one moment of inspiration into every video. Not a whole motivational speech, but just one line, one truth, one reminder that says, you're not stuck. Everything is possible. I'm doing it right now, and so can you. Honestly, that's the part that people comment on. Not the tips, not the framework. The moments where I say, honey, I'm still figuring this out too. That's what actually connects. Now, value, teaching, inspiration, 3 questions down, but there's one more. And this last one is the practical bridge that turns everything into action. Because without it, your audience walks away informed but not equipped. And equipped is what changes things. So let's make this practical. Question 4. What resources can you provide? And this one separates creators who inform from creators who equip. Because here's what I learned from the Google's digital marketing certificate. Your video shouldn't be the end of a journey for your viewers. It should be a stepping stone. Every video should lead them with the next step, a resource, a tool, a framework that they can use, something that makes information actionable. And resources do not have to be fancy, honey girl. It could be a checklist, a free template, a book recommendation, a link to another video, a simple exercise that they can do for, I don't know, even 5 minutes. The point isn't the resource itself. The point is that you have taught beyond the video. You taught about what happens after they watch. So, I started ending every video with one concrete resource. Not just subscribe and like. That's not a resource for them, girl. That's a resource for me. I mean, something that the viewer can actually use. Something like, here are 4 questions. Write them down. Put them next to your camera. Ask yourself these questions before every video. Now that is a resource. That's equipping someone. And when you do all 4, and when you know what's valuable, when you teach what you've learned, when you inspire them to believe that something is possible, and when you give them a resource to act on, that's when your content stops just being content and starts becoming a relationship. And yes, girl, that's what an audience actually is. It's actually a relationship. So, if you take anything from this video and from our time with Google Certificate Program, let it be these 4 questions. What's most valuable for your viewer? What can you teach them? And how can you inspire them? And what resources can you provide? Ask those 4 questions before every video, and I promise you, your content will change. Because you're finally creating for someone instead of creating for the void. Drop a comment below. Which one of these 4 questions are you skipping right now? Because trust me, I've skipped all 4 for like 100+ videos. But if this helped you, hit that subscribe button and make sure to stick around. My name is Sean, and I'm here to remind you that you got this, I got this, we got this, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.